Welcome back to Football Coach, episode number 60. We do have a new offensive coordinator, and with a lesser training rating, it's going to lead to fewer successes in the breakthrough market, but not in the expected way already, as we've seen Harry Grant with an 80% chance of a breakthrough not get it, and our redshirt sophomore quarterback with a promise of playtime, who's a 79 overall, still lacking in the quarterback IQ department a bit, had a near 70% chance. It was like 68, 69. Also, not get his breakthrough. So only 4 out of the 6 so far, and 2 very key guys not getting their breakthroughs. 4 of the 6 were starters that we were going after. So this hurt a bit this time around. You take a massive drop in the odds to go after a player a second time. So Eric Davis twice now, quarterback IQ. Okay, that failure's on me, but beyond that, we still missed one of the others, but luckily we at least did score 4 of them. But 2 of them were a 3 or a 4, not significant gains. We're talking about 70 plus for virtually all of these players, most of them in or around starting lineups. So not overly impressed with our breakthroughs so far this season. I am fairly impressed with what I'm seeing in terms of quality for the roster. To only have 11 breakthroughs after 18 sessions is pretty disappointing. It continues. The trend absolutely continues, but our kicker gets a +2 to punt power. That's the younger one. He will be the punter this year, even though he's a couple points worse overall. Because he's got a promise of playtime to stick around. So that'll set him up for 2 more years as the main guy, where his kicking game at 85 is only a hair worse than the senior kicker ahead of him. But where he's weaker at punting, so is the other guy. And I'd rather make sure we're putting those kicks through as opposed to that 1 or 2 yards. We have a pretty good return game, which kind of helps offset if we're coming up a yard or 2 short in the punt game. In the end, not as good as the last couple of years, but we did get to 16 out of the 24, which was a good ratio. It's not a bad year. In the end, mostly helped out by getting 5 out of 6 today. Also helped out by getting a couple good ones. I mean, we got an accuracy +7. I wasn't necessarily planning on doing our young redshirt freshman quarterback, who would be the heir apparent behind the duo ahead of him. Third string guy wouldn't necessarily ever play for us, especially by making him better. He's now 75 overall, but with that A+ potential, we might be promising him some playtime down the road to keep him around as well, as things go. But he's only a year behind the other guy who also has that A+ potential and is the 4-star. So it was kind of hard to justify. So the big breakthrough that we have of all 16 ends up going to somebody who may not be on the roster, and I didn't necessarily want to do, but we just had one more point to give out. I don't like giving it to seniors. I don't like giving it to juniors often. We did do a redshirt junior offensive lineman here, one of our top guys there, to make him a little bit stronger. We don't have anybody in that 89, 90, 92 range for our offensive line, but we've got a lot more quality there than we've had in years past. Expectations for the year is win 2 games. I feel like finally we have an easy target that should be able to be easily achieved. We are looking at beat Hawaii for $3 million and hold Oregon to 290 passing yards or fewer. Yes, that does look like a very hard target, but that's an extra $6 million potentially. Last year we had an 80-80 for our ratings. This year it's an 82-80, so we are definitely stronger than a year ago, and last year felt like a little bit of a fluke on how things went. But the 82 rating is the best we've had since our first year in the conference. We're entering our 5th year in the conference already. Wow. That's gone by fast. This is our 2nd highest rating ever. No, third highest rating ever on offense. Of all the years we've been playing, this is the 3rd best we've ever been on offense. That's the progress we have continued to make going into this year. Now, defensively, we've never had higher than an 81, but we've had 3 years of an 81. We've had 4 years of an 80. And while this is one of 4 80s, it's the highest team ranking at number 42 that we've had. And in fact, this is the highest balance I think we have had, besides 1 year where we were 83-81, which was the best offensive year that we ever had. Breaking it down, though, so we have an 84 in quarterback play, and of course that's a little deceiving, right? We're splitting 2 quarterbacks. The 84 overall that we have at the position, it's because he can run, and we're going to have to use those run-pass options a little bit more often with him, especially this year. I think he's going to be a little more capable. His IQ was so bad last year that he was bad at the decision-making side of things. I think he's going to be a little more tolerable with that this season, and then with those legs, open things up for us. But our rushing and run blocking skill is where we're hurting a little bit at 79-79. But we have good receiver skill and decent pass protection. Overall, it's pretty balanced. I'd say the quarterback play is a little overrated, and the others are consistent. The pass rush, the run stop, very good. 84 this year. Man coverage, good at an 80. Zone coverage, okay, at a 78. And tackling, solid, 82. Special teams, field goal kicking, a 90. Punting, an 81. And kick and punt return, a 96. On offense, we are led by Hector Ellis, our only 90-plus player, but we do have a D lineman at an 89. Jalen Mai at an 87. And a lot of mid-80s on this roster. By class, 55% are seniors, but not only is that only about half, you've got a lot of underclassmen making up the other starters. We've been able to recruit some good ones in the last couple of years, especially in that transfer market, now that we've had access to that little bit of NIL money. But in terms of overall players by class, seniors this year, just 21%. Not a big graduating class again. We do have less freshmen than what we normally have. Again, that's 2 classes, right? Your true freshman and your redshirt freshman. And that was because of a smaller graduating class last year. We do have a lot of juniors, so. Outlook at position, of course, Pearson on paper looks good as an 84, but Davis is almost better as a sophomore, and we will be able to keep him around with the promise of play time. And, Fisher's looking pretty good behind him. At running back, who's the starter? Yeah, a red shirt freshman. What a pickup he was. Wide receiver, Ellis, it's going to hurt to have him graduate, but we'll be pretty good behind him. In fact, I think we'll be stronger next year than we will. We won't have a top receiver with a 92, but we're going to have lots of guys in the 80s and lots of young ones that are already looking pretty good. You add a year to that, put them in the mid-70s, a bunch of them. Backing up those 4 will be good for years to come. Tight end. It's an 84 this year, but there's quality behind them, and Lawrence at 74 is going to be solid. That was a good pickup. I think that was a good use of some NIL money for us to get him in. We'll have to make sure we hang on to him. Offensive line definitely looking better than it looked last year or the last couple of years, really. Plenty of quality in the seniors, but almost more quality in the junior class, and some good young prospects as well, and plenty of potential within the group, and a lot more durability than we've had in years past. Kicker looking fine for the future, but Bean will graduate. We will need to get a second kicker in for next year and beyond. That could be a problem in this recruiting class. It's always difficult to recruit those kickers. Transfer market could help, but Christian's good, so it's going to be hard to find a good one in the transfer market when you already have a good one, because they'd be coming in to back him up. D-line, one great one, does drop off, but you're looking pretty okay with a number of mid-70s behind him and a steady kind of progression as you go through. Same with linebacker. You got some quality at that top end, but you got plenty of mid-70s. A little bit weaker next year on the outlook for that group comparatively, but they're not far behind. Corner, looking strong for the future. Davidson will graduate, but next year looks like a great year for that group. And at safety, same sort of thing, right? We've got a lot of 80-plus seniors on our defensive side of the ball, which is a good thing. We have quality. But behind them, they're all looking pretty okay. I mean, you got a 74 freshman, you got a 73 freshman, you've got a 77 and a 74 sophomores. We've got quality already in the younger group, and it's been a number of years since we've really had that within the roster. So pretty well off. 18 guys will graduate, so we'll have at least 18 scholarships to give out. 21 the year after, 18, and then 28. So we'll open our season against Purdue. We are in 82-80, but we're on the road. No, we're at home. We'll have a chance to beat Purdue for sure. It won't be an easy game, but East Carolina should be a win. Wake Forest, they've got a good offense this year. Won't be easy for that one-star program. They're looking good. Ohio State's fantastic. They're number 2 overall. We'll obviously lose that one, but Memphis is beatable. Tulsa's beatable. SMU, we are equivalent to SMU, but we're on the road this year, and they are the four-star higher pedigree. Will be a difficult win. We haven't beaten them yet, but we were pretty close last year, I think. Maybe not. Tulane should be beatable. Indiana, not easy, but maybe beatable. Oregon will kick our butts, but South Florida, only a hair better than us. And last year that was the same thing. Hawaii has rebounded a bit this year, but could be beatable. We're going to get more than 2 wins. That much is certain. I think we're going to get more than 3 wins. I do think we should be on the verge of a bowl game, maybe with 5 wins this year. I'm hoping that we have rebounded that far. Defensive side of the ball, though, is still a problem on the play calling, so it won't help us out much there. But the talent is a lot better this year than it has been, well, for the last 4 years. And we had 5 and 6 wins in 2 of those last 3 seasons. And then the season where we looked better was an off season. We had a ton of injuries in that particular year that really, really held us back. And we still had 5 wins in that season as well. So the 3 years that we looked pretty okay, we looked better than we did in 2 of those 3 years. And the 1 year where we struggled last year was a quarterback and an offensive line issue, and maybe in a couple of those occasions, extreme weather holding us back as well, that we've turned down a notch for this year. So fingers crossed, we are a team that could win a fair few number of games this year and get back to climbing. But I doubt, because of the huge prestige drop we took a year ago, I doubt that we'll be jumping to prestige level 3, but we might be able to jump back into almost prestige level 3. At home against Purdue, we are the favorites to open this season. We certainly have at least a slender talent advantage, and you look at the talent matchups, we've got pluses on the offensive side of the ball, which is kind of rare. Usually you have slight negatives even when the offense is a little bit better. It just takes more to offset the defense than it does to, offset the offense. On the other side of the ball, though, we've got some healthy advantages, especially in pass protection with a -11, but they do have a +5 to that pass game, so that will balance out a little bit. Overall, though, this suggests that we should take this opener. And as we begin the second quarter of the season opener, it's 7 all and a 3rd and 2 for Purdue, which does not lead in a pass completion, and so they will punt, giving us good field position, and that sets us up for the first visible drive of the season, though we're a little bit down on short passes already at this stage, so let's go ahead and go to the ground instead. See how that run game is doing at this stage, and it's doing well enough. Grant gets 12 yards on that one. They want to go right back to the air for the short pass. Of course, we are pass heavy. Medium is not being punished right now, so we'll take do we want to go play action? No, we'll go smash digs here. Nice. Okay, 7 yards on that one. Inside zone gets us the first. Now No penalties on the short pass. I'm sure we're going to get it immediately after this one, but we get the first down, 11 yards, jet sweep, no, inside zone, yes. Third and very, very short. Let's not even hide what we're doing here. Halfback dive. First down. Tight end attack. Going for the end zone, and we score. It's 14, or will be if we convert the extra point. Pearson scrambles. Pearson scrambles for that touchdown. Okay. The arm might not be there, but the IQ's a little bit better this year. He recognizes that everybody's covered in their space, and he exploits the space using his legs, and it's 14-7. Big gain there, though, on that play. Was that second? It was second down, 31 yards. Negative play there, third and long, with a blitz and a punt. Nice, okay. Deep punt. Luckily, we get a return out of Ellis on that one, giving us a halfback off tackle, inside zone, and we're going to have to go to the air, and we turn it over. Oh, Pearson. Hey. He's making better decisions, but he's still making bad decisions. They've got a very short field. Nice stop there. That's a sack. That's going to be one of our strengths this year, as we are going to get pressure on quarterbacks. We should see a lot of sacks. Third and long. Another sack, this time by the corner, Nathan Kern, for a loss of 7 yards. They've got a weak offensive line. We are exploiting that. Sets up a long field goal that they don't make. Great job by the defense. Fantastic job by the defense with two very big negative plays, forcing a long field goal attempt that they can't convert, giving us the ball back. Bubble screen goes nowhere. Halfback inside zone gains 9. Read option. Enough for the first down. That's the thing with this quarterback. And halfback sweep first. Inside zone. Tight end stick. Big gain there. 23 yards. A lot of after the catch action there from Hope. And we are in the red zone. 2nd and 5. Run play options are going to be a much better option this year. And it's 21-7. Oh, but Purdue. I keep wanting to call them Wake Forest. Purdue do pick up a touchdown in that last minute and a half of the second quarter. We are going to begin with the ball to start, and we are also going to make a change on offense. Not that he's doing badly, Pearson, but we are going to get Davis in there to open this drive. So Davis will open the second half at the quarterback position. Definitely higher quarterback IQ, very similar arms between the two, but he does not have the legs on this one. So the run pass option is not for him. It's either the handoff to the halfback or the bubble screen. And we gain 3 after he hands off to Grant. Slot outs, first pass attempt for him. First down, 11 yards. Play action. Dagger. Halfback slam. First down. Drive. Touchdown! Kramer, 50 yards from Eric Davis. Our quarterbacks are looking so much better this year to start out, and that makes it 28-14. So he's got a few pass attempts in, and he's got his first touchdown of the year. I'm liking how this is going so far, splitting task between the two quarterbacks. As we begin the fourth quarter, so that's 1 quarter played for Davis. He's got another touchdown. It's a 21-point lead, but Purdue is marching down the field. They started this drive from the 5-yard line. We brought them back to the 1, nearly got the sack. They somehow got out of it on 3rd and long. That was 3rd and 11 in their own end zone, and they were able to get out of that one and get another first down immediately after. So let's see if we can get a stop here. Otherwise, it will give away some momentum, and we do get the stop. It's 4th down. And with a 21-point lead, we definitely want to keep Davis out there for the time being. This could seal the game right here, right now. We're already on to chew clock. Ellis, 17 yards from Davis. Slot drive, no. Slants, no. Wide receiver smash, no. And that leads to a punt, unfortunately. 3 and out, and we're going to get the ball back. Ability to chew some more clock. Halfback mid-draw, no. We're going to play action. Deep. No, did not work. Tried to catch them out. Didn't pan out. They got a first here, midfield. And they're still marching down the field, getting first downs almost every other play here. As they do it again. First and goal. And we're going to hold them to a field goal, which is a big stop there, right? They chewed some clock themselves, even though they were going up tempo, but they took a good 2+ minutes off the clock and only got 3 points. I think we should be able to put this one away from here. Let's go for the last 5 minutes. That'll take a minute and a half off the clock, and they got another score. They got another score in that time. What in the world just happened? Grant with a fumble. He's got really good ball protection. So Grant fumbles the ball on the first play. First play of the drive, he fumbled it. We still have some work to do here. 11-point lead. We are marching at least, but there's still 5 minutes left. Halfback mid-draw. 3rd and 1. Halfback sweep. No. Don't hide. Be upfront about what you're trying to do and just get the push of the line, and they do. We get 7 yards on that. Down to 3:29. Everybody has all their timeouts. Halfback zone weak. 3rd and 5. Curl combo. 2 minutes left. This is just about for the game if we can get the first down. We do not. We're going to kick a 46-yarder and make it 38-24. So back to a 14-point lead with just under 2 minutes to play. Negative play. It's 4th and 13. Turnover on the incompletion. Good stand from the defense. Okay, this will just about put it away. We got a minute 26. They only have 2 timeouts. 1 first down will end it, and does. Do we want to kick the field goal before time runs out? Oh, we might. There's the last timeout for them. Now minute 12. We'll snap at 36. Now, instead of letting the clock run out, do we? No. We'll let the clock run out. That's fine. 38-24. We've got the victory to open the season. We're halfway there. Halfway there. We've only played 1 game. 479 yards to their 374. About a yard per play better than them. Each team had 5 big gains in this one. Passing yards, they were definitely a bit ahead of us, but they attempted a lot more passes than we did, and we absolutely slaughtered them in the rush game. They had just 22 yards for the game. We did not do well on 3rd down today. They actually were better than we were on 3rd down. Yes, they were. They were better than we were, right? 2 for 4 beyond our 5 for 14. And 2 turnovers. Made the game closer than it should have been. This should have been more comfortable than it was, but we win by 14 points nonetheless. And offense had a good showing. Quarterbacks, both of them, were better than what we saw last season. Both of them have improved quite a bit. At home field advantage, though, not looking fantastic. 22, the number of the day, really could have been the number of the day if we held them to 22, but 22 rush attempts from Grant was a record. We went to the ground a lot more often. A lot of that was chew clock at the end of the game, but then also 22 opponent rushing yards for the entirety of that one. Well, the season has opened with a big positive, and our ranking for the moment with 11 to play is 53rd. Now, it takes a lot of losing to really pull away from that and go the wrong direction. So for the moment, at least, things are on the up. Our needs, though, not easy. I think for Hector Little, I think we can get our 5 games. Getting to 7, we've still never done it. It would be really nice if we can this year, because otherwise we are going to lose 2 guys that think we need to win 10 games. We've got 4 promises of game winners and a lot of coach integrity on the line for that, especially the 16. That feels pretty dang unlikely. I mean, we're going to have to win at least 9 regular season games and a bowl game if we're going to get 10 or 10 regular season games, which we have 2 games that we are not going to win on the calendar. We would have to be perfect against everybody else. Now, the only other non-conference we just played and won. So we would have to be a perfect 9-0 in conference. Now, of course, that would mean we would play in a conference championship game, giving us an additional opportunity to secure that win. So There's a chance. There's a chance, but it's so highly unlikely. But we've already got 25 pass attempts for Eric Davis just in the second half of that game. But we've got to make sure we're keeping the back and forth there. But 56%, not too bad there at the end of the game when they were in desperation mode. He's not helping us on the yardage part. Great start to the season, East Carolina, and then Wake Forest in the following two, another home game, and then one on the road before we then take the obvious, if not by then, first loss of the season. Things are off to a good start, but we've got a lot of season still ahead of us. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.